Hi, my name is Winky Mitchell, and I'm a retired nurse from Rockinghurst Center.
And hi, I am Lori Asplund, and I'm the chair of the English department at Wittenberg University here in Springfield.
Thank you so much for your interest in the Springfield Culture Fest Big Read, an issue related to racism in our world, our nation, our community, in our schools, churches, and families. Our goal is for groups around the community to read and discuss. We hope choose to live more actively in community together. The plan is for groups to gather and choose one of three books. How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi, White Supremacy and Me by Layla Sachs, and White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. Read your choice and then participate in discussions of the book from October through early January.
So the purpose of this video is to offer structure and support for your group. All of the information will be included on a handout that will be available in the Springfield City Government website under CultureRead. So we like to begin with a learning space statement because we know we are asking folks to engage in hard dialogues. So we feel an introductory statement is possibly needed to help set up this learning space. So we suggest that you might use something like the following. This is a statement adapted from activist Mickey Jones. Together, we will create this learning space, because there is no such thing as a safe space. We all exist in the real world. We all carry scars, and we have caused wounds. In this space, we seek to turn down the volume of the outside world. We amplify voices that fight to be heard elsewhere. We call each other to truth, to more truth, to love, and to be authentic. We have the responsibility to examine what we think and how, and what we know. It will not be perfect. It will not always be what we wish it to be, but we will stay and have hard talks together. None of this is easy, yet we have to do it anyway. So thank you, Mickey Jones. Go ahead, Winky.
Right. If you choose to be a coordinator, you will know your group or community, but for most groups, it will help to keep it smaller, like 8 or maybe 10 people. The coordinator should plan to invite group members and handle correspondence. As a group, you need to decide whether you will meet in person, maybe outside, social distance, and if so, where? Or if you want to meet virtually via video conference, for example, and if so, does everyone have access to the needed technology? As a coordinator, you want to explain these logistics for the group read and make sure everyone has been able to access the books.
So great. At your first meeting, you'll want to maybe do some introductions. Of course, you may already know your group, or maybe some people know each other and some people don't. But sometimes it's good, even when people do know each other, to go around and share a fun fact about yourself, maybe answer why they chose to be a part of this particular group read. And then we think it's a good idea to set up some agreements for the learning space, and Winky's going to share those.
These agreements are some examples that we're going to give you, and you will probably choose as you get your group together for them to add what will make them comfortable in that space. So these are some of the examples. Be present, listen actively with an ear to understand others' views, speak from your own experience, speak your truth, be aware of your own feelings. Lean into your discomfort and checking where it is coming from. Commit to learning. Allow everyone a chance to speak. Listen respectfully without interrupting.
Great. And then you might consider doing a deeper dive on just getting to know one another, especially since this can be a challenging topic. One thing that can be helpful is just having people reflect on their own childhood experiences. So asking everybody to go around and say, and answer a question like, when did you first become aware that there was something called race in the world? And this would not necessarily have to be focused on racism, but just when did you become aware that this concept of race existed? Although it may have been racism that taught you to become aware of the existence of the concept of race. And then if you haven't done so, it would be good to set up the timing for your group to meet. I personally tend to find that it's easiest to do this when you're face-to-face, or you can all get access to your calendars rather than trying to do a big email around. So either on your first video conference meeting or your first face-to-face socially distanced meeting, decide when is going to be best to get together. And you may have to do this meeting by meeting. You may have to do that, or you may be able to get all of them set up several in advance. And then if you need to decide which book to read, you might want to take some time to look through the materials that should be available on the website, read through them, and maybe take a vote about which one you want. And I suggest, especially if you're meeting by a video conference, about an hour and a half is about as long as that's usually comfortable for. If you are able to meet face-to-face, you might be able to break it up a little bit. You know, if you are able to safely, make it like a coffee over a coffee or something like that. That might make it take a little longer. But and then pick your dates and your times and have your calendars out. Go ahead, Winky.
If possible, it can really help your facilitator if there are some helpers in the group. One who can focus on the technology and possibly act as a timekeeper, and one to lead the conversation and pay attention to all the conversational dynamics. To serve as a moderator, it's hard to do both.
So your time frame may depend on the book you're reading and also the time and availability of your group. So we don't stipulate any kind of specific frame that you need to do this reading in. But for example, How to Be an Anti-Racist has 18 chapters. So that means the group could meet every other week with everyone agreeing to pre-read 3 chapters, so 6 times. Or if that feels like there's no way we're going to be able to get together 6 times, you might do 6 chapters a time and meet 3, or obviously you could split it up, any way you wish. And then on the other hand, Me and White Supremacy is really designed to be read and worked through with short reading spread over a 1-month period. So your group might meet one time before reading, maybe once after 2 weeks, maybe once or twice at the end, depending on how you want to do it, or you might meet weekly after you've gone through the exercises each day. White Fragility has just 12 chapters. Your group could have 4 meetings covering 3 chapters each. Again, however you choose to break it up.
In closing, thank you for joining this journey. It's one that we are hoping you take a personal look at yourselves. It's much more than a read, and take action after that.
Yeah. We hope it meets you where you are, but also pushes you in places where you know you want to go, but it can be hard to figure that out. And so Winky and I really love this quotation, and it is from an Australian Indigenous artist and activist. Her name is Lilia Watson. And so we thought we would leave you with her words, which are, "If you have come here to help me, you're wasting your time. But if you have come because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together." So have fun, enjoy, grow, and we're thrilled to be on this journey with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.